Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're fine.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope you can see my screen as well.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Welcome to the TEAL 2.0 seminar series. And this is seminar number 4 on best practices for designing model-based courses. Right. So before we start the seminar officially, I would like to share some of the things related to TEAL 2.0 projects for those who are new to this series. So let's start. Right. So the TEAL 2.0 is a project coordinated by University of Peradeniya with 11 other partners on improving the quality of open and distance education, right? So with this one, we want to improve the quality of the open and distance education while providing a platform. So we are actually building up TEAL 2.0 platform where people can use the system. So this is actually also based on the Moodle, right? So basically, the TEAL 2.0 stands for Improving Access to Science and Technology Higher Education in resource-poor institutions through open platform for technology-enabled active learning environment. Right. So right now we are actually building the system, but while as the support and development centers, we try to share our knowledge and experience on, developing open and distance learning courses, right? So, so that's basically what we were doing. And here are the list of participants. So I'm not going to go into details, but this is collaboration of Asian and European partners, as well as for quality assurance, we have another European institution. So all together, we actually, building the system. So it's not only the system, the infrastructure, as well as it supports the other, institutes on, improving the delivery on open and distance learning courses. Right. Now, as a requirement, we have actually set up TEAL 2.0 Support and Development Center under Engineering Education Unit, Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya. So if you are interested, you can actually visit our webpage, inch.pdn.ac.lk EEU web for more details about the Engineering Education Unit. But under this, we will be having every month we will have a seminar on open distance learning education technology. Now, so far we have been doing like 3 other seminars every month, starting from, we started with the conducting online examination. There was a higher requirement at that time with the current pandemic situation. And then the second one on basic Moodle handling, using how you may use a Moodle LMS for higher education institutes. And then the last one is on online teaching tools. So altogether, so all these seminars were conducted by using experienced teachers in the universities, and we hope to continue this trend again in future as well. Throughout, we can share our knowledge on open and distance learning education. So having said that, let me introduce the today's seminar. So this is seminar number 4 on best practices for designing model-based courses, and it is conducted by Dr. Toshani Veerasinghe, and she's a senior lecturer attached to the University of Colombo School of Computing. Right. If I go through her bio, she is a senior lecturer attached to the University of Colombo School of Computing, And presently, she's the coordinator of the e-learning center of UCSC and the deputy director training at Cyber Campus, the distance learning center of University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. And she obtained her PhD degree from Department and Computer System Sciences, Stockholm University in Sweden in 2015. And she has special interest in designing online learning environments for distance learning programs and conducting research on technology enhanced learning environment. She has co-authored more than 30 research publications and coordinated several national and international projects on e-learning. I think we have the right person today to talk on e-learning and also like Moodle-based courses. And if you are interested, you can contact through her email. So I have listed here. So having said that, I would like to, cordially invite Dr. Toshani Veerasinghe to take the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sampath. I hope I can share my slides.
Yes.
You have to stop your slides sharing. Yes, thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm going to talk about best practices for designing Moodle courses. Then let me briefly tell you what sort of things that I'm going to talk today. These are the key elements to be concerned is the first step we need to consider. The second is the asynchronous and synchronous learning, because we have two aspects of teaching learning today, that is asynchronous and synchronous learning. And we'll come to the pedagogical approach next. So we have to, when we are designing online courses or delivering courses online, we need to know what sort of a pedagogical approach we have to select. And then the online learning content, how we should design and what sort of content is there. Then how to develop. And next, the evaluation and learning progress tracking. Finally, the creating collaborative learning activities. So related to that, I will be talking about the ethics related to online learning and teaching as well. Okay, so let's go to the first topic. That's about key elements to be considered. Now I think most of you already practicing online teaching, so that's what we have to do today. So anyway, then in that case, you maybe have experience, lot of experience in conducting online teaching sessions, and also you might be involving in learning online today a lot. So when you're moving from blended learning, so we had the blended learning earlier, that is on-site learning and online learning, and now today we have to think about complete online learning as well. Okay, so sometimes you might be thinking about, okay, blended learning, for the all traditional method of blended learning is on-site learning and online learning, but today we have another mean term for definition for blended learning, that is asynchronous and synchronous learning. Okay, that's a blend of delivering things online and then teaching online while we develop the course content in Moodle and then sharing the learning resources online. Okay, so there are two environments that we will be using right now today as well. So anyway, when you're thinking about the online teaching, first teaching, then we have to think about what we should plan for teaching. So then what are the things that the students have to learn in my course. So plan for purposeful learning. So that is very important. And then you have to think about assessing and providing the feedback. Okay, so when you think about what needs to be taught, and then what are the objectives, internal learning outcomes of the learning program, and then you need to think about how I am going to assess them, so and provide feedback to the learners. So even if you deliver the session online or you design the courses online, then you have to think about these aspects. Next, it's about differentiate the individual learning needs and styles. That's one more concern that we have to consider when we are delivering the session online. Sometimes it is difficult for you because we can't see it. We see the students faces online, so that we can't uh, help the students to understand what we are teaching. But when we have it in the on Moodle session, Moodle based courses, even if you can't see the students faces, we can see how they interact online. So we can see how often they log in, and then what sort of messages they post, and how they interact with each other, the other peers, and also with you. So by looking at them, and also we can see, okay, they have different types of learning styles, and then we can think of providing support for them. Okay, we'll come to that next. Then the set of expectations for cooperative and sociable behavior is there. Okay, so we expect the students to behave interactively with each other. So then how are you going to think about, how are you going to implement that, and think of building the collaborative learning environments online. So that's another thing that you have to consider. Okay, so these are the key elements in teaching, if you think about teaching. But then we have to talk about how we should think about the learning as well. But when you are designing online courses, more specifically, we have to think about learning. Okay, so then about in learning we have two aspects, as I said earlier, that is asynchronous and synchronous learning. So the synchronous learning, that when you deliver the courses online, the students will be receiving it right now. Even when I'm speaking, you will be listening, but in order to make you interact, then I have a question. I can pose questions to you. Okay, so time to time I'll be asking questions from you as well, so you have to listen carefully. Then here, when you have the synchronous session, usually you use more Zoom, don't you? You use Zoom to delivering the online sessions. But again, you can have some other conferencing facilities available online, such as Google, and also you can have some other tools such as Big Blue Button. You might have heard about it. There's a Moodle plugin as well for that, so we can have it inside Moodle, and it is an open source software, so we can use it and improve it as well. Yes, but today we have got used to use Zoom. Most of you are using it. So then anyway, now that's one consideration, okay, for developing and delivering material and supporting the students learn. Okay, synchronous learning. And asynchronous learning means the thing that we are going to focus today a lot. That is the environment that we are going to develop in Moodle. Okay, Moodle courses, where the students can see the content that you have shared and the other students have shared, and they can learn at their own pace and also their convenient time that they find. That help them to go through the material once in any number of times, and then also they can find time to go through the activities and attempt them several times, and provide engage with discussions as well. So anyway, that is not happening at the same time that you deliver and the receiving. And also the students will post messages in forums, but the other students needs to spend time for reflection. So that is actually a very good environment for our culture, because our students are less interactive in online sessions. Usually when you do it in the classroom, even majority will not speak. Some less number of students might speak. But when it comes to the online learning, most of the students are very active. Why? Because there's a opportunity for them to think what they write and communicate, and also they can edit what they write. So because they will find some minutes for editing it. So before that time, they can edit what they have written, or they can delete even their messages. So only thing that you need to do is to just build confidence in them, in this engaging in discussions, so that they can do it. So that happens asynchronously. Why? Because the students might spend the time for writing, but they might the others might find their own time to answer the questions that the other students have asked. Okay, yes, next one is about the pedagogical approach. Now we have to think, how are we going to deliver our course? So whatever it is, so you have to think this is the Gatney's 9 events of instruction. Here you can see the first, it start with gaining attention. Okay, so whenever you design a course, you have to think how to gain the attention of the learner. Okay, so whenever you deliver a session, even you have to think about those things, even though you might have not known about these 9 events of instructions. But when you specifically design online courses, you have to think how to gain the attention from the learner first. And next, how to inform the learner about the intended learning outcomes. Okay, so these are the course intended learning outcomes. Those are the things that the learners are going to achieve at the end. So you have to think how to inform them this intended learning outcome. What is the best way to inform them? Where you should have these intended learning outcomes. And then the learners have some prior knowledge. Okay, so they know about it. So then you have to help them to provoke it. Okay, so help them to remind what they have learned earlier. So the prior learning needs to be provoked. And then present the content, the new content you can present. So for this purpose, for this activity, you might be having some questions online. Maybe pre-course activities you can design, pre-lecture activities you can design. So before they come to the maybe online session, you can ask them to go through the online course, a Moodle course, and then read the material that you have shared, and then ask questions and post a message or post a question at least. Post one question in the forum. Okay, so some kind of a small activity can be given. Okay, so that they will get ready for the session. And also you can go through whatever the questions that they have posted, and then when you are delivering the online session, you can address them as well. Okay, so also you can create an activity based on those questions, so that they will feel that it is a requirement for them. They need to do that activity before coming to the online course. Next, the present in the online course content, you have to think now how to provide that content. What sort of content should be provided online, and how to design them nicely to help the learners understand it easily. And provide the guidance. So if it is an activity, you need to provide the proper guidance for the learner, and then help them to go through the learning material and do it. Okay, and the practicing, also then a lot of activities can be given, and then you need to know how to help them to go out and then apply it in different contexts. Okay, so such activities needs to be designed, and different types of activities needs to be designed. Otherwise the learners will get bored because they know that these kind of activities are there, and sometimes they might try to copy it from another. So then if you design activities with different workloads, so then the learners will try to do something because they can't get the copy from another student. And also you need to think about how to handle all these plagiarism kind of issues as well. Yes, the next, providing the feedback. This is important because you need to know when you're designing the activity, okay, how to provide the feedback. If the activity is there and the learners are attempting it, then they expect some kind of feedback from you. So how to provide that feedback? That has to be planned. And assess the performance. So if you are going to grade them, then you need to have a grading criteria, and then that has to be shared even with the students. Okay, and the next is the enhance the retention and transfer to the job. That means some other activities that helping them to go out and then apply it in different contexts, okay, other than what you taught in the class. So helping them to retain it, or what you learn, what you gave them in the lesson. So this way the Gagne is helping you to, Gagne's 9 events of instructions are helping you to design the learning content, okay, in the online course. So this is one of the instructional design models available today that is heavily used for designing online course material. So you also can use this one. The next now, you have two approaches, no? Okay, you have two approaches now. Sometimes you might be using the flipped classroom approach. So this is the best approach. So you may be using this one and the university right now. So that means you deliver the online course sessions using Zoom, and then you design the Moodle course environments. Okay, this is what you do, no? Okay, so then in the class, in class, that means that the learners will be engaging with you during the online session. So you will be having this one here, that means you engage with the learners online, and then you will be giving them some kind of activities to be done at home. So then you can flip this as well. Flipping means you can give the activities in the class. Okay, you can give a lot of activities to be done in the class. That means in the synchronous session you can do the activities, and you can share all lessons content, because now you have a lot of video content recorded, no? Okay, so you have already recorded a lot of lecture material, so all these things you can share online. So now actually in my teaching but that's what I'm practicing right now. So I'm sharing all the videos so that before the class they can go through the video content that is available in Moodle, and also I can upload them to the YouTube and share the links in Moodle. So this content then learners have to go through, and then they have to do several activities and in the online session. So online session is having we are conducting online session for doing the activities. So that way you can flip the classroom. So what is your approach? So which way are you going to deliver your session? That needs to be decided. How do you deliver your sessions? So okay, you can use the chat room, and then provide your reflections on this. So what is your pedagogical approach in most cases? Yes, please use the chat and type the answer. Or you can speak if it is difficult for you to type.
So usually in our case, we will have online sessions for teaching, and then we will have separate discussion classes for doing activities.
Okay, so you have online discussion sessions for activities, and also teaching also needs to be done online.
Yes, we have mostly for first year level, we will have online interactive session for the lessons as well. And we will later on, we will have recorded, we will upload the recorded, the lesson.
Okay, then how are you going to use Moodle? Just for sharing the video material?
One way we will use Moodle for sharing video material. That is one way to do this. And then all the activities we handle through in Moodle.
Okay, so then that means the students have online learning activities as well.
Yes.
So they will be doing online activities, and then you said that you have some separate sessions for conducting practical sessions and discussion sessions, that may be tutorial sessions.
Yes, both tutorial and lab classes. Sometimes if it is like something related to, let's say, programming, then we'll have programming sessions separately. We will conduct lab classes online.
Okay, so what about the others? Are they all practicing in that way? Deepthi, Chanaka, Chamari, are you all doing it in that way? One fixed approach for all? Anuradha?
Well, at SLIT, what we do is Actually, it's in my class. I don't know. Others also might follow the same approach. So what we do is we have as you said, like pre-learning activities, pre-reading materials, which we have shared using Moodle lessons. That's the lessons activity in Moodle. And then afterwards, we do the online session using Zoom. There also inside the class, we have activities where we ask students to draw diagrams and write programs like Quest. Then afterwards, actually, after the session, we put the recorded video in the Moodle as well. Then we have post lesson activities, something like quizzes, which is like self-test. So that is the way I do my class actually.
Okay, thank you for sharing your experience and also the work that you do. Yes, now this way, these are the two methods actually. Also, we can use a mixture of this, or we can, for some courses, we can have the flipped classroom method or the traditional method in other courses. So, anyway, the flipped classroom method means the activities are conducted in the synchronous session with the teacher, and then the lectures or the theory part needs to be carried out individually by the students while they are not at the present of the teacher. So there, the learning content will be a problem. Okay, so when you want to design a flipped classroom approach, the lessons in the deliver the sessions in flipped classroom approach. So we need to think a lot about designing the learning content, because they have to go through the learning material, and then that will should be organized properly and designed properly. Okay, so that learner can easily go through what they want to that they need to learn before the session, before the online session. Then the problem will be the how should you develop this content. Okay, what is the method? So what sort of tools are available for designing them? And next, what is the best approach for delivering your course or the subject? So if it is about synchronous learning, so then you can have a lot of tools. That those are the things that you have already discussed in the previous session. That means you have synchronous sessions. You can have the presentation slides and the blended learning tools such as Mentimeter, Flipgrid. Okay, so those kind of tools they are available today. Those tools you can use for delivering the session online synchronously, and while you are doing it, the students can go through these links available to the outside, and that means internet resources, and they can engage with the activities. But about the asynchronous learning, then there you need to think about that when you design the content, basically you depend on the features available in the Moodle maybe, but also you can use other resources available. Anyway, you need to think about how you should provide this content. There may be reading materials. And then the pre-recorded video lectures you can have, and also audio instructions, because the students find it difficult for downloading them. Then they can have the audio instructions as well, with some simple graphics or with lecture material, that means PDFs. And then you can have the assignments, submissions, forums, quizzes, kind of things, as you said. Yes, those things you can have there. And also you can provide self-learning content such as simulations, interactive learning materials. So this content needs more time for development, and also you need special skills and talents for developing the material, and sometimes you need tools as well, okay, expensive tools. But these things you may be using a lot today, okay, for your developing your online learning content. When you think about online learning content, we have the Moodle. Okay, so that the Moodle learning management system is there, and then you use the resources available there. Other than that, you can connect. You can use the online tools such as Kahoot, Canva, Mentimeter, Edupuzzle, and the Flipgrid. Then also you have free courses available, so you can share those links, the Coursera, Audacity, and Udemy like courses. And again, you have free content available, images, videos, and research papers available. Those things also you can link to your learning material, learning environment. Next point is the evaluations. So when you conduct evaluations, so whatever the content is there, and next you have to think about how you are going to evaluate. So the evaluations are there, then you need to know how to track the learner's progress as well. Okay, so then what sort of features available in Moodle for developing evaluations? Then as I think you most of you have already tried it. So the quizzes are there. Yes, then now I have to tell you how to design these quizzes and what sort of key things are there that you can, best practices are there for designing them. Next, we can think about the collaborative learning activities. So how to design the collaborative learning activities? When you are designing these collaborative learning activities, you have to think about netiquettes, okay? That means the how the students should engage with online discussions, what sort of words they should not use, and what sort of material they should not share online. So that kind of a netiquette needs net ethics. Okay, netiquette needs to be prepared and then shared it online. Next, the copyrights and the information related to the ownership of the material and how the student should use. You can have a terms of use page. Okay, terms of use page can be created where you can provide such information like who owns this material and what purpose they should use them. So this page you can have in your online course and then get listed on top. Next, the communication guidelines and policies. So that other than the netiquette, you may be having some other guidelines for the students to communicate with you. Okay, so how they should provide submit material. So do you provide them feedback via email or do you accept it? If not, you have to mention that one. And again, if you communicate using via email, then you have to mention how often you provide a answer to their question. Okay, so you don't need to provide the answers every day, then it is going to be a very big problem for you because of the not being able to manage your workload. So you can have a guideline or policy for that as well. So saying that I'll be responding to you only these days, on this particular day before this time. Okay, so likewise. And the keep checking and updating all links to external resources. This is very important when you design collaborative learning activities, helping them to go out and engage with social environment, collaborative networks as well, and then engage with discussions and then bring some knowledge to the online course environment. So the links might be expired. Okay, so sometimes they might be directing the links might be directing the learners to some inappropriate content. So you have to, if you have links to external courses, resources, you need to check them often. Okay, so whenever you go for the particular section, you have to check all the links and then make sure that the links are working well and then as you have intended them to. Okay, the next, keep the students informed about the academic ethics and the policies. So because when the learners are working online, they can tend to copy the content from each other, and these things needs to be informed to them. Otherwise they might say, we didn't know about it. So those are the common type of things actually you might have already thought of. Maybe you might have already thought of these things or discussed these kind of things, but anyway, I just wanted to highlight here as since I'm talking about this. Now I just show you some examples of work and then how these things I have developed in my courses. Okay, so those are the things I think you need to know. So when you are designing activities and then evaluations, the learning content, what sort of best practices are there to be that you can follow. Okay, yes. Okay, can you see this one? Okay, yes, you can see it. Yes. Okay, now this is it. This is one such course that I have. This is for the undergraduate program. Okay, this undergraduate program I have. I am sharing this course, conducting this course with another lecturer. That's Dr. Ruan. And then the first half of the course actually I did, so that I can show you this. So now you can see here, when the course is there, this title automatically comes. Okay, can you see it properly? Hello, can you see it properly?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So this title automatically comes because once the administrator creates the course, the course title will come there. But again, you can edit it. You know about it, I think. You can go to the edit the settings, and then you can course settings. You can go there and change the title. If you want to change this title to another name, you can do all these changes here. So course related settings you can do here, everything that you want to provide. And even here I have enabled the end date as well, because sometimes when the date has even the when we have after completing the course, even sometimes the LMS is providing you messages that the students are not online. Okay, and the students are not accessing content online recently. So since I don't like to receive messages after this date, I have make this enable. So then the course description, you have to provide a small description there so that the learners can see it when they select this course. And then whatever the images if you want to provide for the dashboard, you can have it here. So then this kind of a description actually help the learners to understand what sort of a course is this. The course format, there are several formats available. The topic format is the one that I have selected. You can see it there. Here, this is the topic format, so that I can write the topic title there. And then again here we have weekly format. So the week wise, then the dates will be can appear there, or else you can write the some other thing there that you want, as you want. But the weekly format is that. Okay, so then the week wise it will appear. So the topic means you can write whatever you want. Even if you want write week 1, week 2, week 3, then you can write it there with the topic format, because it allows you to write whatever you want. And then the social format is for one discussion forum where you can have a workshop kind of a thing. Then you can have this one for social format. And single activity format, just a simple activity needs to be there, just a workshop or a training session for conducting with an activity oriented workshop. Then you can have this one. Okay, and then likewise the formats are there here. So I have selected this, and then you can see here the what sort of other things that you need to have in the course design. So whatever, now anyway the course topic needs to be provided very clearly for the learners. So I'm just going to talk about best practices for design. Okay, so then first you have to think about providing the course title clearly, and next you have to think about providing some kind of a description on top of the course. It's nice to have a message to the learner, just helping them understanding what this course is about. And also if you want to say, yes, this is about this course and these are the intended learning outcomes of this, or the main goal of this course, and then what sort of material is available here, and then how you expect the learners to behave online. So that means what sort of participation is expected from them, that can be provided in this message. Okay, and then you can provide some more just friendly message, like just welcoming them, and then asking them to inviting them to ask questions from you, and likewise. Okay, some kind of a welcome message can also be provided here if you want. And but anyway it should be not a formal one, not very informal either, but some kind of a friendly message should be here. Then you have to clearly show who is conducting this course and who are the instructors and the supporters, and also you can link them with your email addresses and show them the email addresses, um, like here, or else you can link to the profile pages. And the recommended text you can provide here on top if you think that is very important, because the learners have to go through it when they follow the course. Next, the announcements automatically come there, but I have included another one here saying the help given forum, that is to provide them, ask any questions to them, or whatever the help that I provide them in common, those messages will be posted here. And this way, for the feedback form, or those things should needs to be easily accessed by the learner, so that's why they are here on the top. Okay, and next you can see that the topic content I have organized in this way, so that I can write the name here, and the PDFs, all these teachers notes, that means the PowerPoint slides with PDF versions, usually we upload before the session. And next, the video lectures recordings, we upload them here with the links available. Okay, so the all the lecture recordings are there. And then we can have the other recordings which directing them to multiple content. I have designed it in this way so that they can easily access the content with the date as well, so they know that this is for this refers to this date, this particular date. So if they have missed the lecture, they can go through only that particular recording without going here and there and wasting their time. And next, the links also I just post here, other than posting it in the announcements. Other than posting in announcement, I usually provide the link here as well, so that they can easily see it here when they come, and they can see, okay, this is particularly relevant to this topic, and we are going to talk about this topic on this particular day, and likewise they will come to know about it. Then you have the forums, so that whatever it is. So now the next thing is, so now I talked about this one as one of the most important parts here. Next, you have to think about organizing your content. Okay, so organize the content well, and then follow the consistency. Okay, so now all the courses needs to be can be designed or formatted in one style, but and also within the course, if the others are not agreeing with you, maybe, but you have to maintain the consistency within your course, so that you can see, okay, all the titles are like this formatted, and then now here I have a separate section for activities, because during the course, throughout the course, we will be conducting several activities. So the part 1 activities are here without putting them everywhere. I just have placed them in one section here. So anyway, how to organize your course, that is much convenient for you and also for the students to follow it easily. Okay, so that you need to consider and then organize the content well. That's another thing. Okay, then it comes for activities and other things. You have to provide the instructions very clearly, so that learners can see how it is to be carried out. Okay, so you can provide some examples with available what they have done, and also you can record the explanations even. Okay, if you think that learners will be able to understand it very well when you speak, then you can have it in a recorded voice. Also you can have the text wise instructions for them to listen to it, read it very carefully. Okay, so then reading, for reading and understanding, and also you can provide some instructions in video recording, so that you can easily demonstrate them as well, how it is to be done, and likewise with some examples, then you can record it. So either way, you have to think how it is to be easily communicated to the learner, the message regarding the activity, and that has to be designed properly, and then you can organize the content here in a manner that helping them to access it very easily and find it easily. Okay. So that about the make important information easy to find. Okay, so they should be able to find the most important information very easily. So they, even if they miss some content, they should be able to find it very easily. And next, that content needs to be accessible. So sometimes when you upload the content to YouTube, the students will comment, yes, they can't access it easily because they don't have free access to YouTube. So they prefer to have it in LMS according to my experience. So then what you can do is you can upload the content, reduce the size of the files and upload it, but you have to delete the file soon after 2 weeks. Then that message needs to be communicated to the learner, because if you upload everything to the LMS, then the LMS will need more space in their servers, so it will be a problem for you as well. So in that case, you can decide, yes, if you have limited amount of space in the servers and you have this issue, so upload the material only for 1 or 2 weeks and keep it there for 1 or 2 weeks, and after that you have to delete it and remove it from the system, and you can make it, maybe you can have it in the YouTube afterwards, so that the students who have problem with the accessing from the YouTube, they immediately will try to download the material from the LMS. Otherwise you have to think of sharing it in some other resource that is available in the university space, so helping them to come and download it. Yes. Then these are the things that about this course, and then I will go to, this is about undergraduate course now. So then you might be thinking, okay, how to design courses for postgraduate courses. Yes. So yes, let me show you another one here. Okay, this is for a master course, so you can see they are a little bit advanced learners who have experience in learning online, but still I have used a simple image here, and even in the previous one which I showed you, that's simple text, not images actually. There I have only one small image in this space, but the rest of the things are just text. Okay, if you want to look at this one, I can show you how I have designed this one. Okay, you can see it here. Yes, so this one is just a table. I have put this text here, and the background color I have set to black. If you know a little bit about HTML, and then you can code it here, or else you can ask somebody else who know about coding to give you the code, and then after getting it copied here, and you can edit it here. Okay, so you can design your page as you want. So this way you can maintain the consistency among other courses as well, so that everybody will follow one method, or they can have different types of images, colors, and then also you can structure it as they want. Okay, but easily they should be able to edit it. Okay, so this is about it. And then if I go to the next course, that is a master course for the master students. This course is having is designed for little bit students having more experience in online learning, but still you can see that there is a message here, and then I have used a small picture here, but the background color is white in this case. And then I have the internal learning outcomes listed here on top. Okay, so that they can see the internal learning outcomes of the course internal learning outcomes. And then you need to have the terms of use page, because these students are distance learners and not known to you a lot. So you really have to have this kind of pages. So this is a terms of use page. So I have created this message for the learner, saying that how they should go through the learning material and what sort of conditions are there that they have to agree with, okay, when they are using the material. And next, the course is structured again, as you can see here, the course introduction, and then the week format is not, this is not the week format. I have used the week name here in the topic format. Why? Because some weeks we have to cover same topic. Can you see it here? This for two weeks I am covering the same topic. Because of that, I use the topic format again. Even though we conduct the sessions weekly, I have used the topic format because of my requirement of having these titles, same content covered in more than 1 week. And the lecture recordings I have organized in this way, as I demonstrated here earlier in the undergraduate course. So here you can see the teacher's note, and then the announcement. I use the background color here as well for helping them to see it very clearly. There's an announcement coming here. And next I will just tell you about the assignments and activities. So the assignments and activities, we have maybe you also designing them in this way. So the instructions regarding these are provided in the online course. So everything is there in the recording. Instructions related to this is there in the recording. And then the learners, once they do it, they need to know how to do it with carry out their activity. So then I have uploaded some sample activities and the templates, all kinds of information that are really needed for them to do the activity. Those things are also given here, and then the online resources are here. And when it comes for the examinations, assessments part, they will be having some assessments. So you have to design the quizzes. So when you design the quizzes, you need to think about what sort of instructions you should provide to the learner. So these instructions should be clearly provided to the learner. Now in my case, I have given them just instructions regarding the number of minutes, and then also sometime problem with, if they encounter some problem, just send me a message to my mobile number. A message, just a message, and then because if they encounter a problem with the connection, then they can't send an email. So what they can do is just send an SMS soon after they encounter an issue and lost the connection to the LMS. And other information related to the quiz are also given here. Okay, so that is very important for them to follow. And when you are designing quizzes, it's better to design them with the question bank. You know where the question bank is, I believe. So you can go to this more, if you have the same version of Moodle, you will be having this. And then if you go to the questions bank, and then you can see the questions available here. Okay, so the questions, when you design the questions, you can categorize them, and then you can even, I have structured questions as well here, structured type of questions. You can categorize the questions and then prepare them so that you can create the quizzes or the assessments nicely, and allocating adequate time for separate quizzes, or that means different types of activity quizzes. Then you have them in category wise. Okay, so that's about it. Yes, and then comes here when you deliver the course. So that the next thing is when you deliver the course, and then you have to monitor what is happening there. So you can go through the reports and see how the students are interacting online. Okay, so you can go to the course and then see the reports available here. Log reports, activity reports, course participation reports are there. Those things you can use for just to see how the students are accessing online. Okay, so how often they work. So their report can also be seen here. Individual students behavior can be seen here. So likewise you can observe what is happening there and how the students are interacting with your activities. Then by looking at the issues, that when you find an issue, you can communicate to the learner. So you can send the message to the learners. So you can click the messages and sending the messages to the learners as well for selecting, and then send the messages to the learner that they have some issues. If you find some issues with them and then want to remind them to do the activities, you can send some individual messages as well. Or you can send common messages by selecting all and then sending the clicking on this for sending messages. It is important to send announcements as well. Okay, so reminders about the deadlines, even though they can see it in the calendar view. When you are delivering the course, and if you expect the students to participate in your course well, to motivate them, you better send them announcements often. And then regarding the assessment deadlines, it's good to remind them about the assessment deadlines. Okay, so that they can see the message in their email box. Okay, so they don't need to even come to the LMS, so they can see the message, so that they will learn that they will come to know that there is an assignment to be completed soon. So then they will get motivated to come to the online course. And also it is good to give them an impression that you are observing them. Okay, you are observing them, so that when you send them announcements often and then provide them feedback, they will come to know, okay, you are observing them, so that they will get motivated to do the activities on time. Okay, so those are the things related to course design and development that I can say that as best practices for designing the course. Yes, if we have more time, then we can go for practicals as well. But since you have only 1 hour allocated for this session, and I was asking to share just to tell you about just key points in designing online courses. I just demonstrated this and just talked about it. For an example, I can show this one as well. This is a course that we have developed for pre-university course and online learning. That is for English language training with the UGC support. Okay, so this is for university students who get registered for the university. They are not actually started, those who are not haven't started yet following the online following the university courses. Before they come to the university, they can go through this course. Okay, so this is the course that we are going to deliver soon in January. Now this one you can see it's a very simple structure. Okay, so everything can be seen very easily. Why is it that we design it in this way? Because they are not new to, not very well familiar with the online learning and not familiar with the Moodle environment maybe. Okay, so that they should be able to see the content very easily and they should be able to follow the content easily. So that's why we have designed it in that way. And also this content have a lot of interactive learning material, and we have used special tools for developing this material as well. You can see
Hello students, welcome to module 6 speaking. In this module,
this
we will help you
content
to make telephone calls.
this content has a lot
Hello,
of
good morning. My
voice
name is
content
Naina
as well.
Jayasinghe. Can I speak to Mr.
Okay,
Ranjit
so
Siriwardana?
this one has a lot of audio video content as well, and also a lot of activities are there that the learners can do, and then they can practice so that they can type and do, and also they can speak
Listen
online.
to the following phrases of
Okay,
making requests on
they
the
can
phone. Example,
engage with a lot of
situation
activities.
1. You are at a meeting. Ask the caller to
Okay, So I think you hope you got an idea about it. So you have to know your learner, and then accordingly you can design the learning content. Since you all in common then developing courses for university students, then you can use a complex structure even, but you have to organize your content very well, considering your pedagogical approach and the intended learning outcomes. Okay, so they should be able to achieve. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Toshani, for the nice and interesting work on a model-based course designing. So I would like to spend some time on if you have any questions to ask from her on a specific topic. It's time for that. Please, you can use the time. Any questions? Yeah, Dr. Shani, maybe you are missing, you said about like handling questions. You said you didn't have time on handling some parts due to time limitation. Maybe you can use
Yes.
few more minutes during this question and answer time to explain us that part.
Okay, I was just telling Digalla about developing material. Now, when you think about best practices, they might can see, okay, these are the things that are there and this is how it should be developed, but probably they might not know how to do it. Okay,
Exactly.
so then they need to, yes, get the hands-on experience.
Maybe then I think we could plan for another session maybe
Yes,
later on.
if they want only.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a feedback form. Let's see how many of today's participants request that, based on that I can arrange. Okay, then on behalf of organizing committee and also for the participant, I would like to thank Dr. Toshani to take your precious time from your busy schedule to prepare and deliver both the theory and also like sharing your experience of conducting courses on model-based course designing. So I hope many of us, although we were delivering, I think for example for me, I learn a lot how should I structure my delivery, for example, what are the key things that I should focus on. So thank you very much for taking the time and also preparing the material and also share with your time. And I hope participant also enjoyed your talk. So I expect your future engagement with our workshop series as well. And thank you very much. And finally, all the participants, thanks for participating this because like we schedule this between 12 to 1 because as lecturers, we are really busy and at least we need some time to share our experiences. And the next talk also we planning to talk about like how to handle videos. I will share the flyers soon, hopefully by next week, and I expect you join with us in the future as well. So we'll be sharing our feedback form through the registrations. Please spend some time on giving feedbacks. Thank you all, and hope to see you in the next seminar. Thank you.
I can leave.
Yes, Toshani, thank you.
Bye.